Ooh,
Hey, everybody, welcome to 2022.
woo, woo,
This is
woo,
the,
woo, woo.
and we don't have anything on our page that's like our logo or anything that says like the business G Spot podcast, and we don't have it on our background for our video. We need to fix that.
No, we do not. We need to fix that because we do have a logo. And guess what? Guess what? We have a website too. It's almost done.
Almost done. You
So
know,
I'm just waiting for some info. And
it is the beginning of 2022, and do you realize that this is our 22nd episode?
no way. Woo.
Yep. Our first episode of the year is actually episode number 22. We've done this 22 times. We're almost professionals.
Yeah. And look, folks, anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it. You can see my background is just not that good because it's temporary. And when we move into our new house, it'll be gorgeous. But right now, this is it.
So right now, I'm dealing with microphone issues.
Yep.
I've had problems with it. I did call somebody else this week too, and it cut off. The microphone cut off on me, and I'm like, what the heck? But here's why. I was doing a speaking engagement yesterday for our friend Glass, who I do a podcast with, for her one of her networking groups in Portland, Oregon. And someone was asking me about my microphone stuff. So I took the microphone out, disconnected it, and messed up my whole freaking connection. Whatever works, don't mess with it.
Nope. If it's working, don't mess with it.
All right.
I agree.
So wait a minute.
So
what did you do? What did you do over the holidays?
Oh gosh, my son came out for the holiday with his new fiance. He's now engaged. I didn't hear that.
You gotta watch what you say.
And we went to the White Sands park. My God. Gorgeous. Got really good picture. It looks like it's snowing there. It doesn't look like sand. It looks like snow.
I know. I wrote stuff in the sand. You probably could still find it there 10 years ago. If you go through at White Sands, I wrote stuff in the sand.
Oh yeah.
Some people do, and it could stay there forever until someone else comes by and goes to that spot.
Yep. And they've filmed a lot of films out there. They filmed a lot of parts of Star Wars out there, and other movies have been filmed in that area. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
They like
gorgeous.
Filming in New Mexico.
Huh?
They like filming in New Mexico.
Yeah. New Mexico's got great land for filming, especially
New Mexico has tax deals for filming.
Cowboy movies and stuff like what's the one with Mel Gibson in it, where it's like the end of the world kind of thing. Mad Max. It's another place too. It's good stuff for that. It's got great filming opportunities out here.
Cowboy movies. You know the spot for cowboy movies or cowboy shows, I should say right now. We start a new TV series over the holidays.
No way.
Yellowstone.
Oh, I've heard of that one. I haven't started that one yet.
Yep. When you start, you're going to be addicted. Just going to let you know that right now. If you can find season 2, find them and watch them. So we made it through. We're in the middle of season 3 right now. Only 4 seasons out there. 4th season just ended. Almost in the beginning, it was filmed in Utah and Montana. It is now all being filmed in Montana.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, Montana is a beautiful artwork.
Oh yeah. Montana's a beautiful place. Very beautiful.
Yeah. So that's hooked on over the holidays. We on New Year's Eve, we go to a place called Crew Wine Bar for dinner. We get an early dinner there, and then usually we walk down. There's a tree in there. It's called Legacy Town Center, and we go down to the tree and get a picture by the tree every year. And if you go look at my Instagram, I took a picture and it's put up, all right, from the tree looking up to the place my brother used to rent. He was like the second person to rent that apartment. And we go we go down to the tree, we take a picture of the apartment and send it to my brother in New Zealand. All right. But my mom and I took a picture by the tree we posted this year. And the story is behind that tree is the first year they put the tree up, they didn't have permits to light it until a certain date. And my brother hated staring out at his second floor condo and looking at his big tree unlit. So, cell phones. We had 2 flip phones, and we talked on the phone. And basically, he went down, climbed inside the tree. I talked to him when people were coming by from the balcony, watching everybody walking by. Okay, shh, somebody's walking by. And he found the switches on the generator and fired it up.
Yeah. Fun times, fun times. Well, I know when we were here, I'm from Southern California. We moved to New Mexico. And in Southern California, you can't have fireworks and guns or any of that. Out here, oh boy, it's a lot different. We had fireworks. We had guns shooting off until 3 a.m. It's like pow, 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 pow. It's like, oh my God, do these people go to sleep? It's crazy, 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 crazy.
So back to that movie where they said it was the one of the Wyatt Earp movies. You can only set your guns off on New Year's Eve and the 4th of July.
4th of July, yeah. Yeah, well, that's true. And they do it for a very long time. My poor dog was freaking out.
It was.
Yes. He freaks out when it's windy. I mean, and it's interesting because he's not freaking out here where the wind blows. He's good here. It's nice and quiet, but not during New Year's with those guns. They were just driving him nuts. So, yeah, good times out here.
I take it you didn't come out and shoot with your guns.
No, don't own any yet.
You don't own any yet?
Not yet. I still need to learn how to use one. I'm not going to own one until I know how to use one. I want to be an expert shooter before I own one.
Shotgun. Just point in the general direction and pull the trigger.
Well, here's the thing. When I was a teenager, my uncle took me out to the desert to do practice shooting. And he started with 45, which had a bit of a kick, but I was okay with that. Then he started with a shotgun, and my other uncle said, maybe she should get down on her knees because that has pretty good of a kickback and she might fall backwards. He said, yeah, maybe you should. Get down on my knees. He tells me, put it in the shoulder, and the whole works. It was like, boom. Fell back, hit my head on the rock. I was like, yeah, I don't like this. This is too hard. I don't like this one. I like the little one. Fun times.
Anyway, so what is our news stories that we have? What are we going to talk about this
week?
Well,
I thought about it, and I got to say, every new year, people make resolutions and so forth, and so we were talking about, the new year, new you. Everybody sends this stuff out, new systems, new this, new that, new this. So I wanted to ask our audience: are you like on game with that, and you're on board with that, and you're ready for that new stuff, or are you just like, I'm so tired of hearing new? I just think that a lot of times we make so much out of the beginning of the year, and I get it because it's a new year, it's new opportunities, new things to put in place, and I get that, but it just seems like the momentum gets going, and then what happens? So I just wanted to ask, are people tired of hearing the new this and the new that, or are they just like, yeah, I'll get started one day? What do you think? Are you starting new stuff, or?
You see, what I like about the new year, all right, what I don't like about the new year is everybody with their new stuff, and you get emailed 52 times from somebody who hasn't emailed you in like 3 years.
Yep.
And they email you like, hey, we've got this goal setting workshop, the new way to set goals in 2022. And I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yep. Yep. And I have to say, I'm tired of that. I'm done with that, and I know that we all write them, the blogs about, I've got this course, I've got that course that's going to help you with this and help you with that. And it is what it is. But, I mean, with this day and age, with so much technology and so much information thrown at us, it seems like the beginning of the year we get bombarded because everybody's trying to get out the gate and get this and get that, and we can help you with this and help you get more money by doing that. And da 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 da. And it kind of drives me nuts in that respect. So I just wanted to find out with the audience, with the new year coming, do you guys have plans for that new year? Or are you doing anything differently? Do you have things in place that you're going to be changing? That type of thing. I know I do to a certain degree, but you never know. You never know. And it looks like Tim has gone bye-bye. It's just me.
I'm here. All right. Yeah, I'm adjusting.
So. He's adjusting. I know you're having problems with your sound today, so we apologize, folks. We're having technical difficulties today.
Yeah, so my sound's going to be a little different because I'm on a different microphone right now.
Yeah, it's the new year, but I'm just curious how people felt in that respect. Is it, what are you doing? Are you making changes? Are you just doing things that you were supposed to do next year and now you're going to do it this year? Chakadimus and Pliers song. I don't know what that is, Robert. No clue.
I don't
are you going to do anything different? What are you going to do different this year? Or are you going to do anything different?
I don't know if I'm going to do anything different this year. I'm probably going to do the same stuff.
Yep. Same old. I mean, and if
I'm
it's working,
I'm an old guy now. I'm stuck in my ways.
Yeah, I know. We get to that point where we're like, yeah, I'm comfortable doing this. I'm not going to change it. I'm good. And if it works, right? But I don't know. I was just curious if anybody had any new stuff they were planning on doing. And I think the other thing too that we were going to talk about is being organized. That's one thing that I think is a hard one for a lot of entrepreneurs. If you talk to them, the one thing they talk about is, yeah, I know I need to put systems in place. Yeah, I know I need to be organized, but I don't know. Well, where do I start? Where do I begin? There's this system and that system. And as we know, there's a lot of systems out there that do everything now, where before it was you had to do this piece here and this piece that. And that's a great thing. I mean, we've talked about Kartra and how we utilize that. And it's a one-stop shop kind of thing.
It is for me.
Yeah. And there's Kajabi out there, there's Keep out there. And, I thought maybe we'd talk about, because I know people are still looking for systems that work for them. And I thought I'd kind of talk about, or as well as you, Tim, how do you make that decision on that system? What are the decision factors that you put in place to decide what system you're going to have and what's going to work best for you?
Well, to start off with, Tim never, ever sits and looks for what app will do that for me. Tim actually decides how he's going to do it. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, wait a minute, why am I trying to find things that will do things for me when I then find that said tool and I don't like the way it does it? Why not write down, this is how I want to do my business, and then I find the tools that will do that for me. If there's no tools to do it, I do it manually.
Well, and here's the thing. There's still a lot of new entrepreneurs out there that have no idea to even start on that piece. So
that's where they get all caught up into, like, we've got this world that we think we just plug into an app and it works. All right, guys, some things you still have to do manually.
Yeah, I agree. But I think too, when you're looking at systems, and this is kind of, I did a tip for this on Thursday, where a lot of people talk about lead pages and sales pages and so on and so forth. And so they go into, you go into lead funnels, or you go into click funnels or lead pages, and then you go over here and you do this over there and you do this over here. When we all know there are systems that will do it all in one spot, which personally I think is a better option for you because you're saving money. You're getting to have it all in one spot instead of, okay, yeah, I had this mailing thing for MailChimp and it worked okay, but now maybe I'll try this other one over here. And now you've got money going out over here, over there. It's so much better if it's all in one spot. And so I think when you're looking at a system, personally for myself, the top 3 things that I look at is, number 1, what am I spending on the systems and platforms that I already have in place?
Mm-hmm.
Are they working for me? If they're not, then maybe I need to look somewhere else or look at something else that works better.
Yeah.
And if I can find something that can do it all together and it's going to save me money, why not? If it's working, why not?
Now,
And I
and wait a minute, because that's like where Kartra came into me. You remember when you started with Kartra before I did. I tried it and then I left it and came back when I realized it would do more for me. Is when I came back and went, oh, wait a minute.
Yep.
The tools I need to do what I want to do are in Kartra. I
Yep.
just have to learn how to use them, as opposed to, all right, go hunting for something different. Because I mean, I remember when everybody got on the ClickFunnels bandwagon, and I went and tried ClickFunnels, and I came back and went, man, this is just a headache. And I realized that everything that I could do in ClickFunnels, because it was literally everything had to plug in, to plug in, to plug in, to plug in.
Yep.
And what I realized was I could do everything in ClickFunnels using what I had in Optimized Press and my current shopping cart. I didn't need ClickFunnels. I already had the tools. There were 2 different tools.
Yep.
Then I moved over to Kartra and combined all right, the stuff that ClickFunnels didn't have.
Yep.
All right, and it combined that. Now I still use Optimized Press on my websites. All right, all of my sales pages, all right, that are stuff that I do are usually on an Optimized Press page. If it's something I'm doing for an event, I will build it on a Kartra page. But my thank you pages, now I had 2 websites, you remember. I had timgillette.com and timgillette.net. Timgillette.net was all my thank you pages. I actually, at the end of the year, got rid of all my thank you pages and put them over on Kartra.
Yep.
So I no longer need timgillette.net. It's gone. It now points to the timgillette.com. But, yeah.
Well, and I think too, I realize when you're doing a one-stop shop,
Yeah.
some things are done really well and some things they're still working on. But I think it's a matter of what's going to work best for you and what's easy for you. Because I know there's Kajabi and I know there's Keep out there too. And Keep is expensive and Kajabi's more expensive than Kartra. And I'm not dissing either one. It's just a matter of what's going to work for you that's going to be the easiest for you to learn. Because one person might go to Kartra and say, no, I can't do this. Go to Kajabi and say, this is much easier for me to manage. I can do this. It just depends on what's going to work. And I think that's what you're looking for in a system, is what's going to work for your business, what's going to move it forward, what's going to manage everything all in one spot. Personally, I mean, when I went to Kartra, I saved myself, I think it was $185 a month just by going to Kartra, because I had everything in all these other spots.
Yeah.
So it's worth checking into. I definitely agree. And I was the same way with you. I'd started with Kartra. I got a little bit frustrated because I wasn't sure I didn't have the time to go in and decide how to deal with it and learn it. So I backed away and then I came back. So I think you have to give it an opportunity, and you have to really give yourself time to delve into it. That's the hardest part.
That's one of the things, I was working with before we came on today, just like an hour before, I was working with a client who moved some of her stuff from ClickFunnels over to Kartra. And as we're still going through it, she says, well, I don't understand that. Can you tell me how to do it? I'm like, I can spend 2 hours educating you on how to do it. For now, let's get everything up and running. You can tell me what you need to do, and I can go and do it in 10 minutes. Oh, all right. I says, but we'll educate you like down the road, piece by piece. We'll educate you so you could run it yourself. But in the meantime, all right, I did the initial setup, which took me probably about 4 hours initial setup to get her up and going. And after that, it's 10 minutes work here, 10 minutes work there, and then explaining it to her piece by piece as she needs to understand it. That's where most people don't do, is they come in and they want to learn everything onto it, and then they take action onto it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I did the first time with Kartra, and I spent 6 months of paying $97 a month trying to learn it.
Yep.
And then got frustrated and said, that's it, I quit. All right. And it's when they came back with me on a deal to opt back in for 6 months. All right. I get 6 months for the price of 3. because I had left, they offered me to come back for 6 months for the price of 3. And I took it figuring I got 6 months to learn it again. And that's where I, you know what I mean? I decided to learn it one step at a time. What's
Yeah.
one thing I can do with it, and then build and build and build. Any system you take, you're going to have to learn to do the one little thing you can and then build from it. This
Yep.
idea of it's 2022, it's a new year, we're going to change everything and throw it all in the trash. You know, every year, you know, I kind of review and certain things I get rid of, but I don't like throw the things that work out. I find what works, I get rid of what doesn't work and build on what works, not throw the
I
whole
agree.
system in the trash and start over.
I agree. But there's still, I mean, when you're looking at it and you're a brand new entrepreneur and you don't know what you don't know, and there's systems out there. I mean, I had a woman come up to me and she said, well, I'm going to go with Keep. They told me I don't need a website. I just need a lead page. And I cringed and said, honey, a lead page is a one-page website. A lead page, a sales page, a squeeze page, whatever you want to call it, it's still a one-page website.
Well,
and so it drove me nuts when she said that, and that I think there's a lot of disinformation out there about these systems, as well as information. And I think that's the hardest part as an entrepreneur, is figuring out those pieces, because like I said, a lot of people don't know what they don't know.
Yeah. And it comes down to, all right, you don't know what you don't know. And there's a lot of people out there telling you things to sell you their product. Just like everybody's advertising, well, I've got the new goal setting system. Whatever, dude. You know, there's nothing new under the sun. All right.
No. It's all regurgitated in a different way, different manner. It's all regurgitated information. Even the stuff I put out there, it's regurgitated information. One person can take it from you and they can say, oh, Tim put it across so I understand it better than Katrina did, or vice versa. It's all regurgitated. It's nothing new.
And that is so true. So let's talk about our next topic that we got down here. You got to talk about being organized and getting organized to tackle your year. Do you reorganize at the beginning of every year?
Well, what I do is I try and look at things that are working, and I try and look at things that aren't working. And I look at all of any system I have in place, or any platform I have in place, or if there's a website that whatever, because as I'm going through the year, I try different things for my clients, because they're always saying, have you tried this? Have you tried that? So I'm always trying these new things so that I can be up to date and say, yes, I have. I would recommend this, or I wouldn't, or whatever. So I have to go through those and then decide, do I take those down now? Were they worth it? Do I want to keep them going? So I look at my finances in that respect, and what systems I need to back away from, so that I've already learned what I need to, got the information I needed to for my clients, and now I don't need to keep moving forward with it. The other things I look at too is, you know, what did I do this year that worked really well and got me leads or money in the door, and what did I do that didn't work so well? And I'm always readjusting, because I'm one of those entrepreneurs. I'm flexible, and I try and readjust things based on what's going on, and so that it works better. There are some things that work great. I don't adjust. It is what it is. I keep it going, but I'm always readjusting and tweaking so that I can do better and be better for my clients. So that's kind of what I do at the beginning of the year, is looking at all those things and those aspects, and how I can discipline myself better. How can I discipline myself so that I'm going to get those things done? Because that's the hardest part. We say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. We put it on the calendar, and then shit happens. And then before you know, you're like, that didn't get done. That didn't get done.
So I got one of these over the holidays, because as I took my Christmas decorations to set them up, I went to realize, as I was pulling everything out of boxes, wait a minute, what's in this box? What's in this box? So I bought one of these label makers.
Oh, I love label makers.
Yeah, and wait a minute, and I started even labeling I started to use it to label my folders.
Yep.
This is a permanent folder, so I needed a permanent label onto it. You know what I mean? That's what things I did. But like, I got that so that when I pull my Christmas decoration boxes out on Saturday to take everything back down, I will be able to put things in boxes. And next year when I pull it out, I'm like, oh, this is the living room downstairs box. Oh, this is the balcony upstairs
Yep.
box. Oh, this is the balcony tree. This is the living room tree. This is the bedroom tree. All right. And it's all organized per section. So
Yeah, I do the same thing. I label everything just so that way I know what it is.
yeah, I'm trying to get more organized in those factors. All right, to have everything laid out and done in a way that I know where it is. So that is,
and I think that's part of it too, is not just disciplining yourself, but also disciplining yourself to be organized. I mean, that's a hard point for a lot of people. They've got piles on their desk and they can't seem to get anything done, or they're running around in circles. So I think just disciplining, organizing, getting yourself set up for a better year.
mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I do each year, is how can I improve? What can I throw away? What can I get rid of that's not working? What clients I can get rid of that aren't working?
Well, I got rid of certain stuff last year in my other business. So, I mean, I just was like, okay, this is getting to be a nuisance in my business. What do I do to change this? And I got rid of things that didn't work, and I moved things around to things that did work.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how I start my years. I just look at things and redo things, readjust, so that I can move forward in the next year and hopefully stay on course. That's the hardest part, staying on course, as we all know. So I have a question for our audience out there. How many of you have made the New Year's resolution that you're going to lose weight? You're going to go to the gym. You're going to do all these things personally that you've promised yourself year after year after year, but you haven't done it. I'm just curious.
I want them to think. Wait a minute. No, I want them to think on that for a minute. Can they think on that for a minute while we go do?
Absolutely.
While we go do this.
Oh, we're doing the tip of the week.
We should let them think about what they always do.
Yes.
And wonder what we're going to say about it after our tip of the week.
Yes. Yes. And whether they've managed it.
And whether they managed it or not. So let's start with this one here, so I can go try to make another microphone adjustment.
All right. Tip of the week today for you is, I want to know, are you putting in place a way for your client to make consultation calls with you or appointments? And if you pay for those, making payment as well. I mean, it still astounds me how many people will not put these in place. Why not put a calendar piece in place for your website, so that all they have to do is they go in, they see what your time frames are, they set it up, it goes on their calendar, it goes on your calendar, done. And you can set up the payment piece as well, so that they're paying for those consultations. They can pay for it, it's on the calendar, and you're all ready to go, instead of, so is this day better for you? What about this day? What about that day? Save time for yourself and make it easier for your clients. That's what your website is all about, making it easy for your clients to do business with you. And that's part of it. Put something in place to make it easy for them to make an appointment. A couple of them that are out there that you can use is Calendly, as well as Acuity. Although Acuity just got bought out by Squarespace, but either way, they're great ways to get that calendar piece set up. And payment pieces as well. There's Authorize.net, which works along with Stripe and a bunch of the other things out there. But get something in place so it helps you and your client work with you on a much easier way, and you're getting money and getting those appointments set up while you're sleeping. I mean, it's a no-brainer in my mind, but make your website work for you and your clients so that you don't have to do as much. That's my tip of the week.
Wow, that's pretty good. I wish I had a tip that good.
What's your tip? What's your tip?
When I thought about doing content as we come out into the new year, it is so hard, all right, to sit there and lay out what am I going to write. I've always loved to do this, guys, with some of my clients, is telling them, start with what you can do as far as content. One of my clients started out with just doing a Monday live stream broadcast. All right. And then turn it on to a Friday live stream broadcast. So Monday and Friday that she's doing broadcasts on her Facebook channel, which helped her build a community. Start with one thing. If you're going to put content out on Fridays, what is the one way you're going to do it? We have a show every Friday. Well, almost every Friday. Won't discuss that, but it's building the habits, all right, and your content. I started in 2021 my newsletter, and I talked about doing it for years, and I started, and then I realized how to fit it into my world. So in other words, I fought and kicked for 4 months, and over the holidays, I sat down and started to write my system to make it fit into my world. A system, right? Like she was talking about, the calendar. I have a system down to, okay, well, if I'm going to do my newsletter released on Sunday, on Monday, I got to pick my topic. On Tuesday, I've got to have my story. On Wednesday, I've got to have my points. On Thursday, I write it all, the first draft. On Friday, I review it and set it in to automatically go out on Sunday. If something happens on Saturday that is like newsworthy, that I could add to it. For instance, imagine if I was doing I didn't do my newsletter over the holidays, but imagine if I was doing a newsletter this past weekend, or not this past weekend, weekend before, and never bothered to stop and realize that, to be accepting of the news that Betty White passed away. That's something monumental that you would put in the newsletter if it could relate to your subject, because now everybody's looking for and thinking about all their stuff with Betty White. So if I actually have the system and process, it gives me space on Saturday to then adjust it for whatever happens and comes out on a regular basis. That's my tip of the week.
That's a good point. Very good point.
Yeah.
Did you also know today we lost Sidney Poitier?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Today?
94. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
94. Played in my favorite movie he played in was To Sir with Love.
Yeah. So
love that movie.
So we speak of history and stuff like that. Before we move on to our next topic, all right, we're still making them wait. Is our friend Jeff Wolf? You know Jeff, right?
Yep.
Jeff Wolf did his content very, very unique yesterday. All right. Yesterday was January 6th. And he said, hey, I'm going to do a broadcast talking about this day in history because it's an important day.
Yes,
Wait
it is.
a minute. What was the first thing that came to your mind yesterday as an important day?
I don't know. It depends on who you talk to. It was a day of mayhem. It was a day of something I thought I'd never see in my whole entire life. People just going up to the Capitol and starting to. I mean, I just never thought I would see that in my lifetime. Never.
Wow. Why did your mind go there?
Because to me, the Capitol, just like the presidency, is something to behold, and just like the Constitution of the United States is something to behold, that we have rules in place for a reason so that we don't go amok and go crazy. And just to me, it felt like people were trampling on our flag, trampling on what our ancestors fought and died for, that we take for granted every single day, and that's freedom. The freedom of speech, the freedom to do what we want, freedom that a lot of countries still don't have. And so to me, it was very disheartening to see people just stamp on it. That's the way I saw it.
Well, you also, though, is because it's most recent history is probably why. But do you know what really significantly happened yesterday in history?
Tell
We
me.
would not be on the device we are on talking today if this didn't happen. Did you know that? The first time ever the telegraph was used.
Ah.
In this day in history, or yesterday in history. And Jeff did that knowing everybody was going to go to exactly where you went to, not thinking about that's not as significant in history as the fact that it was on this day that the telegraph was first used. And all of us go to recent history, not thinking about this was even more of an impact on history than what happened a year ago.
I agree.
We wouldn't be communicating if it wasn't for this day. And
I agree.
See, that's where we all go with, all right, to what's most recent in history. We don't think
That's
about
true.
what really is an impactful day in history.
That's very true. And I think too, a lot of times history is the past. And so a lot of times, like you said, we don't always look at the past. We only look at recent events because that's what we remember the most.
We are all so close-mindedly focused on what's going on in our little tiny little world.
Yep, we're in bubbles.
No, I'm not putting down what happened a year ago. I am not putting it down. All right. However, this is how important it is, guys. Like this little speck in time is how important that is.
Yeah.
If you understand the actual universe and the world, all right, that little incident that everybody made such a big deal about was this much important in the whole world and the entire history of the world.
I agree.
And that is why I love that. That was content idea. That was something that we talked about, with making new things. In 2022, look at the big picture. Start looking at the big picture. So many of us over the past couple of years have gotten into what the news gives us as the little picture.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Trust me, I still believe, all right, that this pandemic thing is a little picture.
Yeah. Oh, your sound's out, dude. I can't hear you.
How about
Did
now?
you feel me? There you go.
Can you hear me now? It kicked that microphone again.
Yes. It's like the commercial. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
All right, I just moved it back to the webcam. Yeah, it kicked this microphone. I actually reset the microphone when you were doing your tip, and it kicked the microphone again. I'm gonna have to probably replace that wire.
Yeah, it's probably the wire. Torture.
And unfortunately, I found out about it while doing a broadcast. So basically, I will have to work on it.
Yeah. Things like this happen. That's what happens live. It's live.
And 2 hours ago, it wasn't. I had no internet. So yeah.
So we're doing good.
Yeah. The world's full of trouble for me today. Anyway, what's our last story? Because we actually talked about resolutions, and every year, every one of you, I don't, all right, but every one of you talk about, I'm going to lose so many pounds this year.
Yeah.
Resolution.
No, I don't.
What do you have on resolutions?
The only resolution I'm doing is I'm working on my long and short-term goals. That's it. That's it. And what do those look like? And they change each year because last year my short and long-term goal was to get out here in New Mexico. Was to buy the house. That was our long and short-term goal because we were having to get the house together for the sale, having to pack everything and paint and do all of that, which consumed pretty much the whole year. And so that was our whole thing, was just getting out here. Now we're here. And so that short-term goal, of course, is getting the house built. That's it's supposed to be built by July, around that time, hopefully July 4th. But so that's the short-term goal. But the long-term goal for business-wise is now I need to start over in a brand new state that I've never lived in before. I was born and raised in California, so I had a lot of connections out there. Now I have to start brand new connections out here. And it's a totally different mindset. So my goal is to start getting out into the community and getting people to know who I am, what I can help them do, and vice versa. So that way I can start networking, and it's totally different mindset out here. So that's what that was my, not a resolution, but a goal, so to speak, is what I'm working on.
Cool. So I can push this out of the way since it's really not working. And I'm talking out of this thing up here. So.
Yay, we can hear you.
I know. Anyway.
So what are your plans? I mean, do you have any plans?
I have never done resolutions. All right. I used to have this big thing on goals. I don't even do that anymore. We're talking like up until like 2011, I would set goals every year. In 2011, I took the idea of setting goals I would spend half of my December planning my goals out for the next year, and then realizing 50% of them I never reached.
Yeah.
So I quit doing that. And instead, in order to become successful, at what I was doing. Instead, I change my habits every year. I look at my habits of what I'm doing. My goals are not based on the first of the year. My goals go now between my events, between between what I'm doing, my month to month. They're not set on what are your goals for 2022. I don't have goals for 2022.
Yeah.
I have a life mission that I live by, and I have a goal for January of 2022. I have goals for the months between November and May every year, because that's breaks in the way my company works. That's where I work with goals. But resolutions, that idea of setting resolutions, I'm going to lose so many pounds.
Yeah.
All right. I was actually thinking about, all right, and I heard this as a joke, and I thought, well, that's pretty cool thinking, is I'm going to buy a space and create it as a gym. I'm going to buy gym equipment, all right, that basically can be packed up, and it's going to be available from January 1st to January 21st. After that, all the gym equipment gets put in the back, and it becomes a wine bar. We're good. Yeah.
Because that's what happens, right? Yeah. That's what happens. We promise to go. In fact, I read statistically, people, the top resolutions that they have is to lose weight and get in shape.
Mm-hmm.
And those two top resolutions are the top that always fail. Then they fail between by the end of January to like maybe the third month in the year, and then they're done. People
do you know why they fail? It's because they refuse to actually set habits.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
It's all down to creating the habits that are going to create success.
Yeah.
It is, the beginning of the year. Oh man, on day 3. Oh man, I missed my diet. I ate a candy bar today. Oh well, I'll give up. It's because you don't understand that it takes you 30 days of a habit, right, to get that down to where it's stuck into your psyche.
Yep.
I can't stand going out now. This is a habit that I have developed through the pandemic. I can't stand going out places.
You don't like going out now?
Huh?
You don't like going out now?
I don't.
No.
I like hiding in my house. I want to actually find a way to make more money so I can sit here and play my game during the day and not have to worry about my microphone.
Yeah. I do get cabin fever. I do have to get out. I go walking in the mornings. That gets me out, but I have to admit that we've been going out and eating our way through New Mexico.
No, that's the habit in that is I've gotten DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, Pizza Hut delivered to me. Because I don't want to go out. I would rather have it delivered to me, and I'd rather sit and eat it in my own house. When I'm done for the night, like last night, Gwen got home on Wednesday night. She was away for a few days. She got home on Wednesday night. When she got home, it was 7-something when she got here. So we went and had sushi, right, at the sushi bar across the street. But last night, we reheated the chili we made a couple days ago. And literally, when Gwen got home, I went downstairs. I took off my clothes, put on my pajamas, and curled up on a freaking blanket on the couch and ate my chili.
Yep.
That's just me. Call me old now. I don't know.
Now you've gotten comfortable.
That's habits.
Yeah. You've gotten comfortable. And I have to admit too that I'm not real. I still like networking virtually instead of going in person, but I still like seeing people in person too. Yeah. And I know we have an event coming up in February, Craig's event, that I'm going to get to see you in person and a bunch of other people I haven't seen in person. So I do enjoy getting out and seeing people that I haven't seen for a while.
Yeah.
So that you can have that face to face. There is a difference in that, but everybody, it just depends on your comfortable and what works for you. And I agree. There are times when we do a lot more cooking at home now than we ever did.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we've gone out a lot too, but I've baked bread and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, Gwen does, she does the shopping, all right. And like I can tell you, I've been in a grocery store in the past 2 years 3 times.
Now
Gwen does the shopping. I was like, this is what I want. Go get it. If they don't have it, don't get it.
Yeah,
and I'm limited on what I eat. I will make truthfully, I'm the guy who will make a hamburger or a lunch meat sandwich every day, 7 days a week. That's me.
Didn't you used to go to McDonald's all the time?
Yes, I did. When I actually was homeless, I ate dollar menu every day because I had no place to prep food. So I would
That's
just go to
right. I
McDonald's and
remember
get the dollar menu. If I go like one of the things I joined a mentorship program for my investment company for real estate, and one of the place they have meetings in Irving, all right, Texas. I go down to it about once a month, and there's a McDonald's there. I go down a little bit early. I go into the McDonald's and I get a dollar sandwich. So I'm not hungry in the meeting. Right. Or sometimes it's a $2 sandwich, whatever it is. It's just a sandwich and a drink. And I'm not hungry while I'm in the meeting.
Yeah,
and I do that purposely. So I'm not hungry during the meeting. But I've gotten to the point where I'm starting to cut back on all the money I spend, because I really would rather go out to eat once or twice and have a real good meal. All right. And like New Year's Eve, our New Year's Eve dinner, I take my wife out, my mom out. We go to this wine bar, and I guarantee you every year it's in the $300 to $400 is my check every year. All right. I can't afford to do that every weekend. I'm sorry. That's extravagant spending, but that's a once a year thing.
Yeah.
You know, we go out to dinner. Most of the time we go out to dinner, it's, you know, if it's a place we're going to sit down at, it's $100. All right. I can't do that every week. All right. That's why I don't do that. So like we do stuff from home, and for the most part, you know, I'm not fussy on my food. I just am not. I am fussy, but I'm not fussy. In other words, I'll take throw me a hamburger on the grill or a steak on the grill or fry me up some chicken.
And you're good to go.
Yeah. I'm not into the idea of, and this goes into our habits, because it's the habits that we create. All right. Bring us success. One of the reasons that Gwen always used to say, you know what I mean? She went with me on a motorcycle trip one time, and she ate what I ate, and she lost weight on that trip. Because that's, I stopped for lunch at McDonald's. I eat what I eat, and then I don't eat anymore. And the idea behind it is when you're on a motorcycle trip, you're not sitting and snacking all the time.
No.
You're riding, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, I ate what Tim ate for a week and I lost weight. Well, that's it. I eat what I got to eat to take care of my body when I'm on a trip. All right. And that's habits that I've created that help me stay within shape. My mother hates one of my habits that I've done for years, and that is I go to the shopping mall. I don't look for the parking spot up front. If it's 25 degrees out like it is today, you know what I mean? I'm probably still not parking close, but I'm parking a little closer. But I park way out.
I do too. I don't park up close. I don't even deal with it. Yeah. I'd rather walk.
Yeah. I stay at a hotel. All right. If it's a hotel that, unlike like we stay at the Sheraton at LAX, all right, which is a hotel you've got to take the elevator to get to your room. If I actually stay in a smaller hotel, which usually like town suites or something like that I stay when I'm traveling.
Take the stairs.
I take the stairs. I don't take the
elevator. We do too. We do too.
All right. I'll take the elevator to take my stuff up to the room, but then after that, I'm taking the stairs.
Yeah. Although I have to admit, since we moved to New Mexico, we're in an apartment with stairs, and I haven't taken stairs a lot. And now I do stairs every day because we're walking the dogs 3 times a day, and then, you know, going out and then when I go out on my walk. And so I have to admit that I've lost weight just going up and down the stairs.
So, you know, he's actually in Craig Duswalt's mastermind, Craig Batley. Do you know Craig?
Yeah.
All right. Craig and another lady that he uses, they go to like office towers and walk up to the top to climb stairs in these these.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's their exercise. They do it. They find buildings they can do it in, and they go do it.
It's a good idea.
Craig's got to be what, almost 70 years old now?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good idea. It's a great idea. It's good exercise. The better exercise, the better.
Another one. Hold on, let me do this. All right. You didn't see what I just did.
Yeah, I did. That's crazy.
Anyway.
Czechoslovakia.
I don't mention them. Anyway.
Another one. Wow.
Boom.
What speed are we on?
Boom. Bye. Anyway. Well, you know, as we come to a close for this episode, I don't even have my notes up. I lost my notes in my shuffling of things trying to fix my microphone. So, as we come to a close this week, I mean, this, the new year, all right, everybody's throwing something at you for new systems, and it's so easy to get distracted. The idea behind marketing is to catch you off guard in what you were doing now and break your concentration, to get your attention, right? Then once they got your attention, they want to teach you something because they now have your attention. We can get so distracted by everybody, and I do mean everybody at the first of the year comes out with, I've got a new system. You got to do goals. I can't tell you how many gurus I'm on their list. They got their goals webinar, right? We're doing a goals webinar today, and they're using every marketing tactic in the world, all right, to get you to break your habits to come to their marketing event.
Yep.
You actually have to learn in the new year, all right? You've got to set your own systems, your own programs, all right? And you got to set goals on your time frame, not on the calendar's time frame. That's my synopsis for this week.
I agree. Totally agree. Don't get distracted with the over information, because the abundance of information that's being thrown at you right now is off the charts.
It is
off the charts. So just keep on trucking for what you're doing, and try not to look at that shiny object and say, ooh,
I gotta have that.
Ooh, I should do that. I should do that. And just keep moving forward and figuring out what's working and what's not, and then decide what you're going to go forward with. But I never sign up for anything at the beginning of the year because it's just chaotic. Yeah. And half the time you sign up and you're like, why the hell did I sign up for this? I didn't even do it. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth my time. You know, pick and choose wisely.
I know, it's the gym membership. They get you at the beginning of every year because they know you're writing a resolution. So they get you to join the membership, and now you have to pay them monthly throughout the whole year. And you went in January and February, and that's it.
Yep, I agree.
And now you're stuck on a monthly thing. It's literally, you guys got to create the habits to get your success.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And when you set your goals based on the fact that, well, this is what the calendar is telling me to do. What's your calendar telling you to do? Yeah. It's like we were talking about tools, all right? I don't set based on what the tools can do. I set based on what I want to do. And then I find the tools. Yep. Set your goals, set your resolutions, set your things in your life based on what you want to do, not what the calendar tells you to do, not what Tim tells you to do. All right, maybe Katrina, but not Tim. Yeah.
Just go with your gut and go with what feels right for you. That's all I do. And if it doesn't feel right, don't do it.
That's right. So anyway.
Simple as that. That's the best advice I can give. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it.
That's right. So it's been a very good week. All right. So I appreciate everything you did to put together this show, and it's been a fun week. What's the best website they can find you at?
KG Website Designs.
Oh, I got that up on a banner that we can put up here somewhere.
KG Website Designs. And tell us, Tim, where can they find you?
I'll be doing an event next Friday called Simple Easy Events. Simple Easy Virtual. You go there, all right. It's a one-time deal to join that thing. It's only $97 and you're in for life.
That's a deal. That's a deal.
Katrina's already in. See, she got smart a long time ago. She jumped in.
That's a deal.
Yeah.
I jumped in with both feet.
Yeah.
Not just one.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, we won't be here next week. All right, guys. We will actually, we're one of the things we're doing is we're going to talk about, in the new year of if Friday's the best day, or what time's the best time. So we will be, if we make changes, we'll be on top of you. But in the meantime, all right, be watching for our next episode.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep. All right, guys. Have a good week.
Bye.